We got some stunted trees on this ridge because of the weather. We're almost 9,000 feet, mid-June, and we still got some snow to go through. Well, I think I'm going to make my camp right here at the Ranger Station Flat or whatever. That's what I named it. I think it'll be nice. It's somewhere different, somewhere I can get to. You know, a place I might come back again. So, I think I'm going to hang my hammock over in that tree. So take my poncho, turn it into a hammock and throw it in over there. My water, food box. There's an old fire pit right there. I think I'll clean that up and start me a fire, get some coals going. And I have no idea what I'm going to eat because I forgot all my food. So I left home, you know, not that long before midnight last night. I had to work late, getting stuff ready so it could be shipped today. And in my haste to get out of there, the food was left behind. I have my cooler with drinks and milk and cheese and little bacon and eggs and stuff. I don't know. I'll come up with something to eat. I got my food chest, which has a bunch of canned stuff, you know, stew and chili and different things. I don't know. I'll do something. It'll be good. Well, so here you go. For those of you who think I never build an organized fire lay, there you go. Nicely done. Gaps between all the pieces of wood. Although I have done it a little more anal than this, I have actually measured the distance between each one. Made me a little spacer stick so the spacing is all the same too. But I'm a little lazy today. I just thought I'd do it like this. So what we'll do is we'll get this piece of fat wood going here. I've got a piece of bark right there. I'll lay that on and let it get going good here. All right, we're up in there. I think you can see that. I'm trying to look in there right behind the camera, and it's about as low as I can get the camera here. All right, so that flame will play up through there, and I can go off and do something else while the fire starts. All right, now you can see that the flame's got a draw. It kind of found the thermal column found a path up through those sticks a little bit. So now it's kind of drawing on it, sucking that heat up through there. Got a tongue of flame coming up through there now. Once that gets a good draw, well, looks like it's just got it now. Got a good draw on it, we're good to go. Well, we're getting all that moisture burned off that wet wood, and fire's starting to take. Well, we have fire. In a little while, as I think about what it's going to be, I'm going to cook something on that fire. Well, you know, today's just, for me, just another day camping, exploring. I've come out in some areas in the West Mountains, west of where I live, and I've come back in some areas on some roads, some Jeep roads and stuff where I haven't been before. So I mean, it's all an adventure to me. Now, look in the skies, it's a little bit different than all the weathermen said it was supposed to be today. Today is supposed to be sunny, clear sky, and hot. Well, the sky probably has more clouds than clear. And temperatures are not in the 80s, they're like in the 60s. So, weather, it's different. Now, you know, a lot of people, you know, talk about, hey, is the weather going to be good? You know, like they're going camping. Going to be good weather? Who knows? But you get up in the mountains here, any day can be your guess. Who knows? Doesn't, you know. But I don't look at it as necessarily good weather, bad weather. What does good weather mean? You know, I don't know. Good weather, I mean, you could say for a picnic, I guess. Good weather, you don't want it to rain. But if you're up camping, any weather can be good weather. And one of the things we came up with about 10 years ago is our personal, we called it personal survival shelter back then. Now it's poncho survival shelter, poncho shelter system. I don't know, something like that, PSS. Anyway, this right here, it's a poncho, it's a hammock, it's a tarp, it can be a chair, it can be a ground cloth, shade cloth. It can be a lot of different things. Liners and accessories that go with it that snap right into it to become integral with it. You know, you got something like this, who cares what the weather is, man? You'll just adapt. Right now I'm going to show you a hammock set up with our new Dyneema woven daisy chain webbing. This stuff is so sweet. It's really compact when you roll it down or fold it down. Very lightweight, so light it'll float on water. But strong, hold 1,500 pounds. You know, it's great stuff. And, you know, these trees here a lot of times don't need a tree strap, but sometimes they do, depending. But, hey, if you use the straps, don't worry about it. You're good to go anyway. So, one of the first things you want to do with hanging something up, you want to get your suspension in place. So, just put my fingers between any one of these. Every 3 inches you got a new loop. So, stick a finger through there to open it up. We're hung. That's it. That's all there is to it. Pretty dang simple. Hold 1,500 pounds. Folding and rolling my poncho like I usually always do. We do that every day of the week, all day long. Folding and rolling ponchos so you can ship them out. I just rebelled today when I packed this thing up from camping earlier overnight. I just stuffed it in the bag. Alright, so this has the quick connect hammock cord in there, which is also Dyneema. And all I do is undo the snaps that hold it in place right here at the end of that tube, that cord sleeve that we sew into all of our ponchos. I just do that. I'm ready to hang it. That's all there is to it. Just reach in here and grab the loop. I don't want it to fall back in there, so I hook it over a thumb or finger or something. Grab hold of it. It's ready to hang up as a hammock right there. Done. To hang this thing up, well, I'm just connecting my quick connect cords off my poncho to the strap, so I can use a toggle or I can use a carabiner. Either one will work great. So I can just hook like that through my quick connect cord, and I can start wherever I want to start here. Let's just say I start right there. Easy to adjust, just unclip and move up one. On this end I'm going to use a toggle. Looks like I can go up here a little ways. So you see in this instance right here, I just put my loops from my quick connect up here. They can just slide up and down here. I just insert my toggle wherever I want it to stop at. So that's one way I can do it. See, I'm a little low here. I want to be a little higher. So All I got to do is unclip. I think I'll move myself up a couple, 6 inches here. Clip it in. That looks good. Now I can do a test sitting. For me, I like to be about chair height. I'm actually a tad low from what I really like. So I might go up just a little bit more and I'll be good to go. So I want to adjust up about 3 more inches. Just go and hook it to the next place up. I'm good. Done. Now I'm ready to sleep or nap or whatever I want to do. Alright, so even though I mentioned I forgot to bring my, So even though I mentioned that I forgot to bring my food with me that I had set aside, still not to fear, because I have my food chest, which has a lot of condiments, spices, different things like that. I've got dry food, I got canned food, I've got bags of rice, I've got bags of beans, I've got a big bag of flour in there, I've got the seasonings, baking powder, baking soda, salt, pepper, canned stuff like this. Here's some stag chili, some Bush's baked beans, some Denny Moore beef stew. So I'm really in good shape. I could go probably 2 weeks, maybe more, with what I've got inside my food chest. Now I like to have some canned goods in my chest besides the dry stuff, because sometimes it's inconvenient to rehydrate something or whatever. If you want something quick, this stuff here is already cooked and it's already got the liquid in it. So all I've got to do is heat it up and I can eat it. So now I just got to decide which one of these I'm going to eat. Now I'm kind of leaning towards the beef stew. So I think I'm going to do some beef stew, and I think I'll do some ash cake bread or whatever to go with it. Alright, so I'm going to take this stick and make me kind of a depression there in the middle. This isn't going to be totally, it's not going to be totally ash cakes because I'm putting a little baking powder in there. A little bit of salt. I'm just going to kind of lightly stir that around a little bit. Now if I did this properly, I wouldn't even make a mess, but I don't think there's much guarantee of that, because you're talking about me here. Really, people that get good at doing this, if you're patient and do it right, you won't even get your hands all gooey and gobbed up with anything. So we'll do our best, but like I say, no guarantee about me. I can be sloppy sometimes. Okay. I think I'm pretty good here. Peel that off the stick. I didn't quite get it. That's not bad. Well, I'd say it's not bad. I'm getting stuff stuck all over my hands. I didn't quite work in the dry flour enough. But you know what? Perfection will be waiting for another day. The idea is your hands would be clean and And you don't have to clean up from this or anything like that. You know, you're good to go. I can get a lot of that off of my hands and worked into here a little bit, but I think we'll be okay, even though it's not the premium deal, right? Okay. Alright, so there's my cake, my roll, my biscuit, my whatever. That will be going in the fire. Well, it's percolating. I think we've about reached the boiling point. We're going to be good to go on the stew, I believe. And by the way, it is okay to cook in the can. I'm not even getting that thing. I'm almost 9,000 feet, so probably not even get that thing 200 degrees. So yeah, this isn't going to be truly an ash cake. I got coals right there, but no, it is what it is. So ideally that would be coals right there, or ash instead of coals. Basically coals with ash over top, but that's not the way we're going today. So we'll let this dude right here cook. My chili or my stew is still, I got it on a hot rock and it's still percolating a little bit. Okay, so there's my biscuit or whatever. Like I say, not a true ash cake or whatever, but see, it's at least 2.5 times thicker than it was when I started. So it's fluffed up. Well, here's my meager little feast here. So you break open your biscuit. Simple as it can be. You can dunk it in the stew. Whatever I want. It's good to go, man. I mean, you can do this practically utensilless. I believe I might have to let that stew cool down a little. It's pretty dang hot. Right back there, my hammock awaits me for an after lunch nap. One thing this kind of bread is good for is I can't reach in there, man. There we go. It's for swabbing out the bottom of the can or bowl or plate or whatever. Whoop. I have stuff all over me. That way you don't waste a drop. You get every last bit out of there. I know I got stuff all over my hands. I'm a mess. You know what? Hands are washable. So I think I'll be okay.